installing a comprehensive, balanced assessment system, we need to first inventory what we currently have available that meets the purposes we've laid out. Within MTSS, we first recommend completing this task at the district level. The MTSS district team would complete this for literacy, math, and behavior to determine if we have the tools to support schools in this work district-wide. The focus should be at this level on assessments that we collect across the district. If the schools in your district also use assessments that vary from school to school, the district MTSS team would want to complete this with school teams, beginning with those schools you've selected to be your first implementers in your district. Throughout this presentation, we'll be referring back to the assessment inventory and planning template. These are designed to be completed by content area and grade span based on the purpose of that assessment. The assessment inventory we'll be working from. Note that your supporting materials have one for literacy, math, and behavior. The one you see here is for literacy. For Module 1, we'll begin by focusing on the assessments we have that meet the purposes we need for core instruction. In other words, we'll focus in this section on do we first have assessments that inform instruction. Remember, these can be a variety of assessments such as benchmarks, common formative assessments, and classroom assessments. The second question we ask is, do we have ways to determine what students are at risk? These are typically your screening assessments. Screening assessments are not meant to give us a picture of every aspect of a student or group of students' performance. They are indicators, not comprehensive measures. The final question we want to answer with assessment in core is, did we meet outcomes? These assessments in this category would include your summative assessments, such as EOG and EOC testing, but also could be interim and benchmark assessments. Remember that within this inventory, one assessment may achieve more than one purpose. So with this inventory in hand, we may first examine grade levels or grade spans to determine what they are already doing. There are no right or wrong answers regarding where to begin. Your team may decide to start with elementary grade levels and find that you can complete this inventory for reading for K-3 easily together, but need a separate inventory for 4th and 5th grades. Or the assessments taking place in each grade level may be different, and you may need to complete one of these for each grade level. As you complete these, if you find that you have very little vertical alignment or alignment across grade levels in the data collected, this may be an area your team will wish to discuss. This may be an indicator that school-wide or district-wide problem solving will be difficult due to the difficulty in problem solving with different metrics in each grade level. School-wide and district-wide problem solving is always more feasible when teams can compare growth using the same or similar measures whenever possible. In other words, using the same scale over time will allow your district to more easily assess growth and responsiveness of your students to the practices you're using. The other way your team may wish to proceed is to begin with the content area. You may decide that you want to see what is the data being gathered around math, K-12. Your MTSS district team may decide to break up into small work groups around content areas or grade levels to complete this work at the district level. Once your assessments have been inventoried and your team has a good handle on what you are currently doing district-wide, and if you have very different practices across your schools, you have looked at what is happening across schools, you'll want to see first in what areas you are asking teachers to administer assessments that serve the same purpose. For example, we have found schools that administer 3 different measures of reading in the fall, winter, and spring. The question that all of these are meant to answer is to inform instruction and determine who is at risk. This team would want to examine why this is happening and can we achieve the same outcomes with fewer measures, allowing for more instructional time. The next thing your team will determine is if there are content areas or grade levels that have no way to fulfill those 3 purposes for assessments at core: informing instruction, identifying who's at risk, and determining if we met outcomes. Just as some content areas have many assessments associated with them, there are many schools that have no way to identify students that are at risk in the area of math, for example. The next area to examine is when the school assessment inventories are conducted, do your schools have the same understanding of and use of the assessments, and are using them the same way across the district?